video, we're going to be working with these beautiful topiary plants. Now, I love topiary. I love to use them. They're so beautiful. I want to focus a little bit on the topiary here in my sunroom. Recently, we went into the sunroom. We came in. We gave it a deep clean, a wonderful refresh, and we moved furniture in. We moved this beautiful stone table in. It's by Campagna. Once we did all of that, we came back again and we added citrus plants to the area. Now that we're shutting down the garden, we started to bring those plants outside, the ones that we could try to overwinter. Like I have some mature myrtles that we brought in here. I also brought in some boxwoods. I'll give you an update on how those are doing. But for right now, I do want to start working on these miniature topiaries here. Now, I have some beautiful myrtles here that I started planting up. They're in a gorgeous pot. I love containers, you guys. Look at this. It's so beautiful. And I love that it comes already with a patina. Patina on this pot is absolutely amazing. So I have two myrtles here that we have planted up, and then I also have some lemon cypress. A few of the lemon cypress we are going to work on a bit, and then I'll show you guys what the myrtles are looking like, because we do have some very large myrtles that we pulled from outside in the garden. We're also going to work on our boxwoods here. We're also going to harvest some citrus, you guys. Let's get started. I want to start unloading these myrtles here. I have this lemon cypress in just a typical terracotta pot. But you know what? Here, let's get all of these off of the tray here. Now, I planted these up, which I'm looking at these in the light. And if you guys look and you see the crown of the plant, can you see where they went in and they transplanted that? We probably need to go in and do a little bit more manipulation with the root ball. We'll address that. And as I'm looking at this one, it's the same thing here. So as you see, this one also has where you can see the transplant here. I'll show you how we're going to address the transplant that's sticking out. All right, now this lemon cypress is on the struggle bus, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to pop this lemon cypress up. The thing I like about the lemon cypress is, do you see how it's that chartreuse green color? And I love green. I love to use green, especially during the winter time. But green is just such a beautiful color by itself. You're looking for lemon cypress. Now is the time to go out and find your lemon cypress. You can almost pretty much find them anywhere. And if you have a nursery that brings in plants during the winter time, some nurseries will go ahead and close up for the season, but a lot of them still continue to bring in inventory. It's customary for a lot of the nurseries to have open houses during this time. So go on to your local nursery, give them a call first and say, hey, do you have any lemon cypress? Because you can find some beautiful shaped lemon cypress during this time. Okay, so I have our tray cleared off, and I am going to go ahead and move this out. This is for one of our videos that we have coming up. Spoiler alert. You guys see it. I know I have a bright light over me. Spoiler alert. I don't want to spill too much, honey. You know, sometimes you gotta move in stealth mode. Go to your local florist. If you have a wholesaler in your area where you can go in and walk, if you have your vendor's license or whatever, you can go in, walk around, and then try to find some beautiful accent pieces for your winter greens. But I'm not gonna say too much, honey. I gotta leave something. I'm not gonna say too much, but I did just drop that one right there. So I'm very excited about where these winter greens are going. I'm not going to drop too much. But let's get back to this. Let me go ahead and put this up. topiary straining, I went ahead and I put them in a clear tray. The reason for doing that is because they're going to be sitting on this table. Right now, I don't have a saucer that I'm going to be putting them on. That's not the plan. So when I water them, I have to go in, water them really well. Once the water drains out, then I'll take them and I'll place them back on the table and do the same thing and repeat. So this is going to be my regimen every single time that I go in to water these myrtles. I might go in and do the individual containers, and I'm perfectly okay with that. If I end up finding a large decorative platter, now I'm not finished with these. I am going to top dress them. While we're waiting, let's go ahead and let's harvest some limes. Going on with this lime tree. So if I move over to the side, the lime tree is not looking as vibrant when I first planted it up. So this is twofold. In Chicago, we got hit with some snow, you all, our first snow of the season. So a heater got unplugged. So my lemon trees got hit. So my lime tree took it the worst. The lime tree is right by the door, so it definitely catches the draft. The lemon tree is not doing as bad. And then also my myrtles, you guys, took a huge hit. And I got a large amount here. Now these limes, I have been coming out using these limes in different recipes. Now these are miniature limes. They're not big like the key limes or the bigger limes that you see, which makes them perfect for a container. It's easy to come outside and harvest the limes to get enough for the recipe that I'm going to be using them for. So I went ahead and I harvested all of these. I am going to be making some lime juice. You guys, it's so good. So I make a cherry limeade that is absolutely delicious. So that's what I'm going to be doing with these limes. I'm going to also show you all what my myrtles are looking like. I'm finished putting everything up because I like to keep everything in this room a little bit tidy here. And once we do that, more than likely I'll finish dressing these in the morning time. So let me put the limes up. So I have my lemon tree here. Here are one of the myrtles. Now I still have to go in and I have to clean this myrtle up. I am going to be coming in and I'm going to shear this 100% completely back. Not 100% back, but I'm going to trim it up, and that way it should maybe help to promote the growth. On the struggle bus, definitely it's on the struggle bus. Now the boxwoods here, the boxwoods definitely do not look as bad as the myrtles are looking right now. They look pretty good. They actually have some new growth on them since the incident. So what I did was, one thing that I noticed, my lemons and my limes are definitely drying out too much in this room. And the same thing could be true for the myrtles here. So I am going to be putting a humidifier in here, and that way it will give it more humidity. Now, also with my limes, I have been slacking in giving them their humidity baths. So that could play towards why the limes and the lemons are not faring as well, but I definitely know the temperature had a lot to do with it as well. Just leaving my friend's house, she called me frantically this morning. Now I was supposed to be helping her put together some winter containers outside of her front door. She is getting ready to put her house on the market, so she asked me if I could help her out before she put her house on the market. So I said fine, okay. I told her, I said, before you run to the nursery and you spend all of this money on winter greens, I told her to go to Lowe's or Home Depot or wherever, buy her a Christmas tree, preferably a blue fir because that's going to elevate it. And then I told her what we can do is we can go to the floral warehouse and we can pick out, you know, different types of stems or whatever, and or we can go to a nursery and do it. So she goes and she spends thousands of dollars, you guys, because when she gets in there, she sees all of these winter greens and she's very much inspired. And I'm like, yes, but you're spending thousands of dollars for containers that you're not going to be able to enjoy for the entire season if your house sells. And more than likely, her house will sell because it's absolutely gorgeous and she just renovated her kitchen. So if her house doesn't sell, it's basically because of the market. Told me everything she had to do. You know, she said she was going to go get the winter greens. She said then, in addition to going to get the winter greens, she had some other stops that she had to do. She also said she wanted to go antiquing and then go to the grocery store. I asked her what she was driving, because she got a pickup truck and then she also have an SUV. I told her what I would do if I drive my SUV, then I would do all my runs. But if I drive my pickup truck, I would bring my winter greens back home. Y'all, why did she not bring the winter greens back home? Why did she come out from the grocery store and somebody literally has stole all of her winter greens, y'all? Help me understand. Because she was calling me last night, but you guys, I was busy. I had my phone on silent, you know. I was busy taking care of different things. So this morning, I'm thinking that she just trying to touch base, and she was frantic on the phone. The showing is supposed to be at 8 o'clock. I told her the winter greens is not going to sell the house. The house going to sell because the house going to sell. I mean, she have a gorgeous home. You guys, when I tell you, I told her, I said, this is what you do. Meet me at Lowe's. We met at Lowe's. Now, I jammed everything, all of my winter greens that I had, my magnolia stems and everything, jam everything in the back of my truck, right? And then I meet her at Lowe's. We pick out 3 furs. After we got done, she seen how everything looked. Now she know I cut up. I cuts up, baby. I brought birch logs, magnolia leaves, you name it, I brought it, because I did not want this experience to, you know, leave a bad taste in her mouth. So I'm trying to help my friend out, because that's what we do as friends. You know, we have each other's back. She was like, oh, I should have just listened to you in the first place. Yeah, absolutely. Because now here you are, you done spend thousands of dollars on these specialty cuts. She went exactly to the place that I told her not to go to. Her bill was already expensive. I knew it was going to be expensive because I knew how many containers she was trying to do. And then she has a big entry foyer. She wanted to also do a big arrangement there. Honey, we went, got everything done, and then I said, instead of doing a winter green arrangement, can we please just do a floral arrangement, right? You guys, you know I cut up, did a big huge floral arrangement and set that on her table, right? Then she called me and tell me that the house done sold. The house has sold, you guys. Well, she has an offer on the house. They accepted the offer. So I always say it's not sold until it's finally sold. But I have been telling her for years, you have got to put your things up because people steal plants. Honey, it's done been cases where people done been shopping in the middle of the night with a whole light on top of their daggone head out there shopping, and the nursery is closed. Do you hear me? Multiple occasions. There's even one situation where the lady was shopping. They had everything on camera, of course. Police done went and dug the stuff out of the lady's yard. Now tell me that ain't FOMO. FOMO, fear of missing out, honey. It is not that serious. That is one of the reasons, well, not because of the theft, but one of the reasons why I started my YouTube channel was because I feel like that gardening is very expensive. And who wants to skimp on their look? Nobody wants to skimp on their look. So one of the reasons that I started my YouTube channel was so I could show people how to do these things and not have to spend an arm and a leg. Not have to bring in a specialized team to where you spending thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars when you can really just do the look yourself. Now, hey, I know what my pocket's gonna get me. You see what I'm saying? So I know how I like my stuff to look, and I know that it's a lot of people out there who want the look. They don't have thousands of dollars in order to get the look. or hundreds of dollars in order to get the look. People be stealing plants all the time, and not only do people be stealing plants, baby, people be selling stolen plants on Craigslist, stolen gardening supplies on Craigslist. So if you see a deal that's too good to be true, then it's probably too good to be true. So she ended up telling me that she got invited to an exclusive antique sale. So it's supposed to be furniture there, it's supposed to be antiques there. They usually have like a lot of containers and stuff like that. So I am gonna meet her there, but we gotta drive a little ways to get there. Now typically I've went with her to these events before, and typically what ends up happening is you can't bring your camera in. I'm gonna go to the event with her. I am looking for a table for my sunroom, so hopefully I might be able to find something there. I mean, they just picked some of the oddest places. Why do we have to drive all the way outside of Pittsfield, Illinois to get to this sale? Help me understand that. So hopefully I end up finding something good, because if not, I just wasted a whole tank of gas to go somewhere and not find anything. But we'll see what we end up coming up with. But I do know they always have a lot of containers there, you know, just smaller containers to put on type of tabletops. And the last event like this, they had a lot of containers to go like on top of tabletops and stuff like that, and they had a lot of vases. So if I don't find the table, it's definitely gonna be okay. Because if you think about it, those containers that go on top of your table, typically those are the most expensive, or what I find to be, because you like, this is so small, but they want so much money for it. So I am getting ready to run into construction, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the camera down, and we are going to make a quick detour, and then hopefully we'll find something. I'll show you what we come up with. I'm back from the exclusive sale. Absolutely amazing. It's definitely an experience. I love going to these sales because you have a lot of different vendors that get together, and it's very exclusive. It's by invite only. So I was excited that I was able to be a +1. Unfortunately, I did not get anything. Even though I've seen some amazing items, they were not accepting the Square. No type of forms of electronic payment. It was only by cash. Typically, when I've been to these sales before, there will be someone there that has the Square. Nobody had the Square, so I was just like, okay, whatever. But I definitely enjoyed the experience. I did leave early since we rode in separate vehicles, and that was fine. So the containers have definitely soaked in the watering. That is how I know oftentimes that my plants are well watered in. So if you think back to earlier in the video, when I had my topiary out here, the pot was a lot lighter. Now you can see how dark it is. It still definitely has the patina on it, but that's how I know that my myrtles are happy, that they've been well watered in. Since it is so late now in the day and I do have to prepare for tomorrow, the only thing that I would like to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to water in all of my plants. Lime, I'm going to have to give it a little bit of TLC. It is in the plant ICU. Since my lime and my lemon and my 2 myrtles are in the plant ICU, what that means for me is I'm going to be doing more work. I'm going to be coming out. I'm going to be watering these plants. That is why I took the fruit off of the lime tree. So that way, instead of the tree focusing on holding on to fruit, it can focus on root development, try to go ahead and reestablish itself. The thing I'll be doing is I'll be coming out and I'll be spraying this tree down. Because remember, we have to try to recreate what the environment will be. I'm going to move my chair over because I don't want any of the water dripping on my chair. And they love this, you guys. I mean, it's definitely dried out. I can definitely tell for sure. And then I'll just go in and water it. And after I water it and the water comes through out the bottom part, I do come down and I will take the saucer and pour the excess water off.